Have you ever been pushed so far that you turned your lunch into a weapon? Because that's exactly what I did. After 6 long days of 12-hour shifts and 6 stolen meals, I cooked up something so deadly delicious that the thief ended up gasping for air on the breakroom floor. If you've ever tasted betrayal or dreamed of getting justice in the pettiest way possible, this story is for you. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and tell me in the comments what you would have done if someone kept stealing your food. Now let's serve up a plate of revenge. That it's strange, looking back on it now, how something as simple as a missing lunchbox could unravel a person. 3 years ago, I worked in one of those soul-sucking factories that never sleeps. You know the type. Metal scaffolding stretching forever in every direction, floors slick with oil, fluorescent lights that flicker just enough to mess with your head, and the deafening hum of machines that seems to blend with your own heartbeat after a while. But it wasn't the noise or the exhaustion that got to me. It was the invisibility. We were hired through temp agencies, 5 of them, to be exact. The place was a human carousel. New people arrived daily with empty eyes and greasy paper ID badges clipped to their shirts. No names. Just numbers, positions, quotas. Nobody stayed long enough to remember your name, and frankly, no one cared. The clock-in clock-out lifestyle reduced everyone to background noise. You might pass the same person in the hall for 3 weeks and never speak a word. It was in this chaos that my quiet war began. Chapter 1. The Disappearing Act. It started on a Monday. I had packed leftover lasagna, my mom's recipe, something warm and comforting in the hellscape of machinery and menial labor. At lunchtime, I opened the communal fridge and froze. My lunch was gone. I triple-checked. Pulled out every container. Maybe I mispacked. Maybe I was losing it. Nope. Gone. I tried to laugh it off. Mistakes happen, right? Tuesday, I packed a grilled chicken wrap with chipotle mayo. I made it that morning. Gone. Wednesday, turkey sandwich. Disappeared. Thursday, chicken tikka from the night before. The container was in the trash, scraped clean. By Friday, I was a volcano just waiting to blow. That day I had packed spicy noodles, something I'd never shared with anyone at work, because I liked them hot. Fire in your mouth hot. And guess what? Gone too. I remember standing in front of that fridge, staring at the empty space like it had insulted me personally. My stomach roared. My hands clenched into fists. I felt my ears burn. 6 12-hour shifts, 6 stolen lunches. It was more than hunger now. It was humiliation. Someone in that building, a stranger I probably passed every day, was taking from me, eating my food while I went hungry, laughing behind my back, maybe even boasting about it. It wasn't just theft. It was war. After that 6th day, I stopped being invisible. I became an investigator. I watched. I loitered near the breakroom under the pretense of getting water. I memorized faces. Who came in early? Who lingered by the fridge? Who looked like they had something to hide? There was the woman in the faded sweatshirt, always there 10 minutes before lunch. She had shifty eyes. Then the tall guy with the beard who always claimed he forgot his lunch, but still somehow smelled like takeout. And the petite girl who always seemed to be chewing, but never brought food. Every single one of them looked guilty to me. I couldn't confront anyone. I had no proof. I'd look like the crazy one. But my mind was spiraling, looping through every interaction, every laugh in the hall, every whisper I thought might have been about me. I wasn't sleeping well. I was angry all the time, paranoid, and hungry. So very hungry. Friday night I snapped. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I cooked. The kitchen became my war room. I pulled out steak, thick cuts, juicy, marinated them for hours. I caramelized onions. I roasted bell peppers. And then I opened the small mason jar at the back of my pantry. Carolina Reapers. Dried. Red as rage. I had bought them on a dare years ago, tried a sliver once, and nearly cried. I ground them into a fine dust. No gloves, because I wanted to feel it. Wanted to absorb the fury into my skin. Then I made pico de gallo, dicing tomatoes, onions, cilantro, and I mixed in the reaper dust. A lot of it. Enough to coat every bite in molten agony. These were no ordinary fajitas. These were a declaration. I layered everything in a pristine Tupperware container, garnished with lime wedges and fresh cilantro, and sealed it tight with a clear lid. It was beautiful. And it was a trap. Saturday morning, I placed my creation in the fridge like always. Then I waited. An hour later, it happened. A scream tore through the air like a fire alarm. I sprinted to the break room with a dozen others. There she was. The woman in the faded sweatshirt. On the floor. Red-faced. Gasping. Clawing at her throat. Help. She's having an asthma attack, someone yelled. Someone else was already calling 911. A guy knelt beside her, trying to keep her calm. Her eyes were wild, bloodshot. Her lips trembling. I just stood there. Frozen. My heart pounded, but my face remained still. That was her. The lunchbox bandit. Caught in the act. I didn't cheer. I didn't smirk. I just watched. An ambulance came. She was taken away. HR whispered about it, but no one ever came to me. She didn't press charges. Maybe she was too embarrassed. Maybe she knew she was in the wrong. She never returned to work. And my lunches? They were never touched again. Was it harsh? Maybe. Do I regret it? Not really. Sometimes people only understand boundaries when they taste fire. Revenge isn't always about anger. Sometimes, it's about reclaiming control. Sometimes justice is served not in a courtroom, but in a Tupperware container. If that story hit a nerve, or made you hungry, drop a like. Hit subscribe for more real-life revenge that's a little spicy, a little petty, but oh so satisfying. And tell me, what would you have done in my place?